All right, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a preview of the LSU Tigers versus the Alabama Crimson Tide this Saturday, tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Now, as a college football fan, you live for games like this. You look forward to Saturdays with matchups like this, and along with Georgia and Ole Miss. Now, do I wish this was 8 Eastern on CBS? Preferably, but we're past that time, unfortunately. Now we have Brian Kelly versus Kalen DeBoer on Saturday night, and ultimately, what has become a playoff elimination game. Well, it's predicted that the loser of this game will be eliminated from the playoff, and I think I agree with that. Now, if Alabama loses, I think their ranking of 11 gives them a chance to get back into it. I think they did that on purpose. I think it was intentional, putting them in the 11th spot. As to LSU being in 15, basically a loss eliminates you from contention to get back into the playoff. LSU has a big advantage in one area. Obviously, they're the home team, and Alabama is one of the most penalized teams in college football, so they have that going for them. On the flip side, LSU cannot run the football. They cannot run the football, and in a game like this, if you can't run the ball and that clock stops and you only have maybe 5, 6 plays of possession, potential three and outs, you're giving Jalen Milroe more opportunities, and we've seen when Milroe has had a lot of opportunities, sometimes it takes a lot, they find their stride and things start to click. On the flip side, LSU's defense versus Alabama, or LSU offense versus Alabama's defense. Alabama's defense, their secondary needs to be ready for this. LSU is going to challenge them. I expect them to take multiple deep shots. It's not like Alabama hasn't had guys running free on them in the secondary. For those of you that watch my live streams, especially early on in the season, those streams I talked about for almost every Alabama game. They had not seen a team that could throw it vertically on them until Georgia. Now, it took Georgia quite a bit of time, till the late second half, to figure out, okay, these guys are wide open. I need to start hitting these shots. And Beck did have guys open in that game early on, and he just missed them. LSU at home, they're probably not going to miss a lot of those. And Garrett Nussmeier might throw the ball 40 to 50 times again this game, just because they can't run the ball, but also your strength is Alabama's biggest weakness, and vice versa, right? Alabama, they can't run the ball unless it's Milroe using his legs. And LSU's defense, now it's weird since Harold Perkins got hurt, their defense has gotten better. Other guys have started to step up, especially Weeks at linebacker. He's become a dude and a leader of that defense. But can can their secondary handle Ryan Williams? That's going to be the main question. The big game, you'd expect Ryan Williams to go and make some plays. I do expect that to happen. I do. Now, path to victory for both of these teams. We'll start with Alabama, they're the road team. Path to victory. I think they're gonna get punched in the mouth early on in this game. So what does that mean? You have to weather the storm, right? I think they will. I think Kalen DeBoer does a really good job at getting his guys ready to play. And looking at their schedule, remember Tennessee. This is a good example. I want to talk about this game right here for a second. Remember at the beginning of this game, Tennessee, 3 and out. Crowd was into it. Tennessee's defense got the crowd into it. Alabama struggling. But then Alabama answered on defense. They answered on defense. They got the ball back and they scored. The crowd went silent. Now they obviously lost the game, but it's going to be a very similar start. LSU's going to come out on fire, whether that's scoring on the first drive or forcing Alabama to have a 3 and out. One of the two, right? Now, after the first quarter, what's Alabama's path to victory? I think it's trying to run the ball, because the moment you stop running the ball, you've just taken it completely out of your game plan, and you've made it easier for LSU to stop you, right? If you become one-dimensional in a game like this, you're not going to win a game against a team on the road that, in my opinion, doesn't have that good of a defensive line. They can get after the passer. Braden Swinson, one of the best pass rushers in the SEC. I'm talking about stopping the run maybe 20 to 30 times a game. You gotta hope and assume that Justice Haynes or Jam Miller, if they're both healthy 100%, which they are going to be, will bust a long run. Maybe that's a 30 to 40 yarder, or maybe it's a 50-yard plus touchdown. Ryan Williams, he's going to have a big game, like I said. If Alabama wants to win, we're talking over 100 yards. He's probably going to get 10 to 15 targets, I'd assume, and he needs to have 8 to 10 catches, I think, for them to win. So that's Alabama's path to victory. Throw the ball, get it to Ryan Williams, and run the ball and run it consistently, even if it's not successful at the beginning of the game. Because as the game goes on, that's when things can go in your favor. Flip side, LSU path to victory. Now, I think it all starts with Garrett Nussmeier, obviously the quarterback. He's had a lot of games this year where he's had to throw the ball 40 to 50 times, and in those games, turnovers happened. Texas A&M, this game right here, they're winning early in the first half. Third quarter, they were winning too. And then all of a sudden, Garrett Nussmeier couldn't hit a receiver. He threw picks in their own territory, and everything just spiraled out from there. And that was the last time we saw them. Do I think that's going to happen this time? It's hard saying. Alabama has an opportunistic defense. They have a lot of young guys, like I said, that have allowed guys to be open. The quarterbacks haven't been able to hit them. And we have a quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier. He's going to have to get it to Lacey. And I think it's a simple path to victory for LSU. LSU has a more clear path to victory than Alabama does. Like, I didn't even talk about Alabama on third down, especially third and long. They struggle. Like, third and long, they're near dead last in college football in converting. And LSU goes back. You have to win third down. Braden Swinson, this is why you're on the team. This is why LSU got you. And this is why you're a big-time player now. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and this is a big-time game. Look for Braden Swinson on third and long. And if he's opposite of Caden Proctor, I like Swinson. I think Alabama's offensive line is good, and they just haven't played good, right? Like, they can't run the ball. Pass pro, they've been better. But a lot of that goes back to having Milroe, a guy that can extend plays and make something out of nothing. Okay, so just to recap, path to victory for Alabama. Run the ball, run it often, and get the ball to Ryan Williams on offense. On defense, limit the explosive plays. Don't let guys run free and make LSU work the field, go all the way down and sustain drives. For LSU, path to victory, like we said, get the ball to Kyron Lacey, throw it often, challenge these young guys, challenge those young DBs for Alabama, make them rise to the test. And if they do, props to them. Then you just have to go back to running the ball with Caden Durham. On defense, LSU, limit the big plays. Limit the big plays. Keep Alabama behind the sticks. I think that's the biggest thing for both teams. The biggest thing in this game is LSU keeping Alabama behind the sticks and forcing those third and longs. Because like I said, Alabama is near dead last, if not dead last, in college football in converting third and long. So if LSU does that, I think they pull this out. Now, what's the actual line on this game? So Alabama is favored by 2.5, a road favorite. Now, there's been a lot of big games where the home team has been the underdog and ended up winning. Could we see this? Very much so, you could see this. Another big part of this game, I think, is coaching staffs, but also the head coach. I say that because Kalen DeBoer in big games tends to put the best out there on offense. You think of that Georgia game, he had everyone in college football thinking, wow, Georgia's defense is bad. Georgia's defense isn't good. A lot of holes. But then Kirby Smart played Texas. And look what happened. Now you can say, oh, but DeBoer, second half versus Georgia, they struggled. Yeah, but the first half, we saw what they can be. They had a bye week. I think that's important to know. They're coming off a bye. Alabama's offense. Kalen DeBoer, the heck of a coach. Brian Kelly, he needs to answer the call. Answer the call. This is a big game. And you're really fighting for your season, right? If you don't make the 12-team playoff at LSU, that's a failure. That is not a good season. Not a good season. So I think coaching is going to be important. Coordinator matchups. I think everything matters in this game. And like I said at the beginning, college football fan, you can't ask for anything better than this. And for a pick on the game, I don't know if I'm confident in either team winning, but I think I'll go with LSU in this one. I think the Tigers do win at home. But if Alabama wins, like I said, I mean, no one's going to be shocked. And if Alabama wins this one, I mean, Alabama can still go deep in the playoff. They can still make a run, but you have to win this game, I'd assume. Many people think you have to win this game. We're just going to have to find out. Before we get out, we can just take a look. Here's the standings for the SEC. See, both these teams are not even in the top 4. They still have some room to climb. And Alabama with the loss, you're done, obviously. LSU with the loss, you still have 2 losses. But it's about opportunity to get back into the playoff. Are these teams going to have that opportunity? We're just going to have to wait and see how the season plays out. Yeah, I think LSU is going to win this game. Alabama wins. Wouldn't be shocked. And yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think Alabama's going to go into Death Valley on Saturday night and pull out a victory? Or do you think LSU is going to have a big, big momentous home win against the Tide? Let me know down below. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 right now. And I'll see you all in the next one.